Peace. What's going on, folks? It's me here with you once again to give you a recap on what's going on. I know I didn't make a video for the sphere of Mercury. Just been going through a lot of changes with that sphere, man. So I'm gonna do a recap on the sphere of Mercury, and I just finished with the ritual for the moon, maybe like 15-20 minutes ago. I know you may notice some music in the background. That's that Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Definitely a good album to listen to when you're working with Mercury. Opens you up 100% and lets that mystical experience happen, especially when you're working with the moon. So my experiences with Mercury. So when I opened up the sphere of Mercury and I did that ritual, I did it for a couple of reasons. First of all, the first reason why I did it was because of this retrograde that was going on, and it's still going on. It's going to be going on for a while. I had to do something about it, man. Like, I was getting my ass kicked, definitely, with the whole technological thing that's going on. Like, all my computer stuff wouldn't save, files wouldn't send. I mean, I'm at work and shit's just like falling apart. So I definitely had to get on top of that. Give an offering to Mercury, and just kind of like set that off to say, hey, I need your help. Don't work against me, work with me. So closer to the end of the video, I'll give you guys a few ingredients that I used and how I put together my little quick ritual offering to Mercury, and it did help. You know, granted, this retrograde has been like very powerful. Very powerful. I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced a few issues as well. But if you do this offering, it's really simple, really easy. You do that, and I guarantee you it will work. I guarantee you it. All right. So when I did the ritual with Mercury for the sphere, Mercury appeared to me as a young boy, wearing a white gown, winged sandals, and he was carrying a magic tablet. So a tablet made out of stone, pretty much. He had blonde hair. When I had seen that spirit, he basically like floated over to me, kind of like appeared to me. The influence that he had, the air that he had, was more of a relaxed air. It wasn't anything. It had no intent whatsoever. It was just him, you know, in the pure nature that he appeared in. When I announced the spirit, now you have to excuse me. This spirit's name is like really challenging to pronounce. Taptha Haratharas name. As soon as I mentioned that spirit's name, the instant that I did it, I felt like I was being anointed on my forehead. So for the most part, as I've been going through each one of these spheres, as soon as I get to a specific part of the ritual, I feel pressure, maybe more in this area here, third eye, pineal, whatever you want to consider it, of maybe the spirits themselves, or maybe the opening of the third eye, the Anji chakra, receiving that blessing, that knowledge, that insight of that particular planet and sphere. So as soon as I mentioned that spirit's name, I felt the pressure there. So I could tell that I was starting to initiate myself just from that through the sphere. I also had glimpse of maybe a Greco-Roman figure wearing a crown of Mercury, and at that moment, I realized that, you know, this was the wisdom of Mercury coming in. You know, a lightheartedness, a very witty, joking type essence follows Mercury. So, for example, what I mean by that is with this whole retrograde, right? A lot of people are taking it so serious. They're like, oh my god, this retrograde is kicking my ass. But then if you look at the attributes of Mercury, you know, not only is he wise, you know, he's a messenger, but he's witty, right? So one of the attributes that follows a witty person is a sense of humor. So right when, you know, you're starting to get into something super serious on your computer, or you're starting to type a message or something and your phone just crashes, that's just like, you know, Mercury playing around with you, saying, nah, you don't need to send that message, send it later. You know, it's kind of like one of those things, like, he means well, but he's just doing it to let you know, like, hey, be lighthearted about life, you know, that type of thing. And that's just kind of like the wisdom of Mercury. You know, don't take life too serious. Enjoy the path, enjoy the ride, as I've stated a couple of videos ago. Just enjoy the work that you're doing, and don't stop. Keep floating, keep moving, and push through to the other side. The message that was given to me from the spirit was, when the wisdom of Mercury comes, I will know. And that was spot on. That was straightforward. It definitely did come through when I started to like, not so much analyze, but to really feel the working of Mercury in different aspects. So at work, you know, as I'm sitting there doing my job, different things started to come to mind, to the conscious mind, about my job in particular, that I didn't know that existed. So, you know, specific things, dealing with people, you know, more conversation, more in-depth relationship building. So that's another thing with Mercury. He helps you with your communication. Now, a big thing about Mercury, and this ties in with the whole retrograde, is that you're bound to run into people that you may have known in the past. So it's one of those things where it's backwards communication with Mercury. This past weekend, I ended up running into 3 particular people that I hadn't spoken to in like maybe like 6 years or so. One of my friends, she hit me up and said, hey, you want to go out? Just out of the blue. Now, granted, becoming more of a conscious person, I understand what that's about. Your human-minded person might not. So you have that knowledge. So I would definitely say, like, do a little bit more research with this retrograde. Not just with Mercury, but any retrograde. And find out how you can use those attributes of the retrograde to help you. Right? There's a benefit behind the positive and what we consider to be the negative. Right? If you stay focused on the positive side of things, you'll neglect that negative, darker side. So you need to be able to move in between both. Right? That's the true balance. That's the true hermetic thinking. You know, there is no positive, there is no negative. There just is. So if you learn how to work in between both, you can use it for your attribute, or use it for your benefit, and use those attributes for your benefit. So just finished with the moon. With the 7 spheres, I'm gonna just read from the book here. So with the 7 spheres, the moon is more about manifestation. Okay, so it brings into your sphere all the work that you've been doing from the previous 5 other spheres that you've been doing, and it forms it, and it works it, and it manifests it into this sphere here of the moon. Now, I can't really say what the moon has, what the working itself has manifested, but something has manifested. I won't talk about it right now. I'll talk about it after the working is done. A couple of things actually, but I'll do a video. I'll probably call it follow-up or something like that. Follow-up on the 7 spheres or something like that, and let you guys know the working and the manifested results that appeared in my life. So with the moon, um, it represents the shape of things to come. So all the stuff that you've been working towards through those other six spheres, as I was saying, will manifest in the moon. It will create something. Um, it will materialize, right? So, as it mentions here in the book, the waxing and the waning of the moon. So you have your creation and your destructive abilities of the moon. A lot of people want to talk about, the waxing of the moon, but they forget about the waning. They want to avoid the waning. The waning is a very powerful thing. That's the time to get rid of shit, man. That's the time when things start to fall away. When you start to transform yourself, transmute yourself into something that is much better, something that's much more than what it used to be. So execrational magic is definitely good with that. Cursing and binding, obviously. And I don't just mean cursing and binding and execrational magic towards, a person. You could do execrational magic, binding magic, to get rid of old situations that's in your life that you're trying to get rid of. You can curse habits, you can curse like characteristics, you can do all that stuff. I might do a video on that as well too, maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, that's a good time to start working that magic to get rid of and start shedding shit. Right? You don't always have to go to the sphere of Saturn to start binding and hexing and doing all this more cleansing magic, as I would consider it. You could do that through the moon. Vision is another aspect as well that she works with. So as we all know that the moon's natural element is water. So with that being said, people usually have trouble seeing, like, depending on if you're clairvoyant or not. People may have to work on that gift of sight, that spiritual sight. So working through the sphere of the moon will help you, because naturally the moon reflects. The moon reflects the light of obviously the sun. So with that being said, that reflection is a very powerful thing, right? You can communicate with spirits, with deities, with geniuses, with demons, with angels, whatever, right? Through a reflective surface. The reflective surface represents normally the subconscious and also what's hidden, which is also a natural attribute of the moon. So that's something that I definitely recommend if you're gonna work with the moon. Focus on getting that vision in order, right? I'm still working on mine, but that's definitely one of the key qualities that a magician should have, that I think. Mainly, I had a pretty good positive experience with the moon. Straight away, one of the biggest things that came to mind was manifestation of spirits. So I'm up here doing this ritual, and obviously working with Gabrielle, working with the one spirit, and I'm gonna just pronounce it just because it's crazy. I'm gonna pronounce the spirit's name. Now this is the spirit's name, right? The intelligence of the moon. Malka Bethar Sitim Head Berua Sekahim. That's the whole entire spirit's name. So it's like, what? But working with that spirit in HAZAAA. As soon as I invoke the essence of those spirits, I felt it here. I felt it here, first of all. I usually feel it like whenever there's spirits, or whenever there's high spiritual energy in a place. I feel it here in my heart chakra. So it was more of a anxiousness. It was more like a I know you're here type like but me I kind of got myself comfortable into the essence of the spirit, but it seemed like the spirit was just like kind of seeing who I was, you know, kind of like, who is this dude? Why did you summon me here? Why did you invoke me here? You know, type thing. But as time went through, you know, I stayed flowing with the ritual. I didn't let that stop me, because as soon as you allow some form of anxiousness or fear or apprehension to come into the forefront of your mind, that fucks up your whole entire ritual, and then therefore you lose control of the ritual and shit starts to go haywire. So it's best to just, like, you know, realize that you are the god and goddess. Be confident in that, and if you're gonna work with the spirits, work with the spirits, right? Have balls, you know, ovarian testicular fortitude, and just do it. And this is coming from, you know, experience of me just dealing with stuff that I've been apprehensive about, and just saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna let it stop me, and just push through. Because my thing is, I'm determined to push to the other side. So with that, that means you have to face your fear, and that's something that I'm doing. Anyway, so as soon as I invoked those spirits into the area, I saw a shadow, like I saw a glimpse of like a white streak, a shadow in my peripheral on my right side, and I was like, okay, cool. So that automatically means it ties into the moon with the whole idea of manifestation. So right there automatically starts off with me not even doing the magic itself within the sphere, that the manifestation portion of it has already started to bear fruit. So that in and of itself shows that all the work that I've been doing has been worth it, and even through the rough period of the shit that I had to deal with, will bear positive fruit, because I'm staying positive about it. I know that a lot of stuff that has fallen away within a few months or so, or a few weeks, have definitely been needed to be shedded for me to actually progress. So yeah, that's my recap on Mercury and the moon. I'm sitting here at what, 18 minutes. And yeah, definitely, like I said, once again, get your hands Seven Spheres, purchase it, work the ritual work, do the work, and sit back and enjoy it, man. Sit back and enjoy it. Like, I'm not gonna go too much in detail about it. Just buy it. Just buy the grimoire. You know, for you guys that may be afraid or a little skeptical about working with demons, work with the angels first. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, granted, I don't consider myself a black or white magician, a gray magician. I'm just a magician, right? So I work magic from every angle. I don't give a shit. Like, I work angelic magic, I work demonic magic, I work with geniuses, I work with genii, whatever, right? It's kind of one of those things, jack of all trades, master of none. Another attribute of Mercury. So yeah, get the Seven Spheres, work the magic, and just sit back and enjoy the positive attributes and just manifestations that happen that apply to your life. You know, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. You know, like the money that you spend, the little $75 or $50 or however much the grimoire is definitely worth the benefits that you'll get out of it. So yeah, just do it. Just do it for your spiritual well-being, for your consciousness and your conscious awakening. Do it. Trust me, do it. Now, I'm gonna, like I said, I promised that I was gonna talk about what the ritual working that I did for Mercury to help me out with this retrograde. I I bought this book here, Planetary Magic. Another good one to have if you're gonna do planetary magic. I kind of grazed through it. Really good. I guess this is the 4th edition that they came out with. It's by Denning and Phillips, and it's invoking and directing the powers of the planets. It gives you like correspondences of different deities. It gives you like how to work rituals, how to draw in the essence, how to invoke, how to evoke. Yeah, it's a whole guide. It's a whole guide. So, for example, if you're working with Mercury and you want to do a whole full like altar setup for Mercury, some of the images or the deities that ties in with Mercury would be for Egyptian, HAZAAA for Egyptian, Etruscan, terms, Salons, Babylonian, Nabu, obviously Roman, Mercurius, and Greek, Hermes. So you got different deities that you can work with. So what I did was I didn't have many tools around. I just used what I had, right? So that's another aspect of being, I guess, more of a chaotic magician. I mean, like I said, demolatry and chaos magic is my foundation. So definitely use what I had. So for my herbs, I had lavender around, so I used lavender. I used mace. I used star anise. I used sandalwood, and I just basically threw that together. I drew the sigil of Mars, and basically on parchment paper. I drew it on parchment paper in orange, and I set it in the west. So basically, west being, according to this, west is water, and they have it here as, you know, Mercury has an elemental affinity of the planet, which is of water. So if you place it within the west, that attunes it to the more positive aspect of Mercury. So I placed the sigil on the west side of the altar. I had like a little shot glass, put a few of those herbs in there, put the actual shot glass on top of the sigil. I basically stated Mercury's sacred holy name. I did that 8 times because obviously the number 8 is associated with Mercury, and I drew the sigil of Mercury over top of the actual offering, and I left Mercury a little thing of wine, and just say, hey, here you go, you know. And I have this staff, the staff of Mercury, as well too, the staff of Hermes, which is a caduceus staff. Do that on top of the altar as well, and say, hey, I need your help me out, here's an offering, and boom. As soon as I did that, all my issues just kind of fell away. Like I said, it's not going to stop every issue, but the majority of my issues, as far as technological, like communication, fell away. That's the reason why, like, those people from my past came up into my present. So that's kind of one of the things that happens when you deal with Mercury. Anyway, this video is 24 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, but yeah, so that's been my working with the 7 spheres. It's been fun. I enjoyed it. Get your hands on it, man. Get your hands on it. And like I said, I'll do a follow-up video letting you guys know the end results of the working. Alright? As usual, stay blessed. Hit me up with any comments, and we'll talk later. Take care, people. Peace.